I'll teach you. At some point, I'm just like, yeah, it looks good. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. The real question is this thing working? Is this thing working or is it not working? All right, I wanted to have an AC/DC like back in black moment, but we're not gonna have it because apparently I broke my microphone adapter piece. That's not working. I was wondering why it wasn't working in a video quite a while ago. And I think that's why, because I can't get any of them to work. So anyways, hey, it's your girl Andrea. I'm gonna go order one of those new adapters so I can have my microphones back. But instead, I will just talk very clearly and loudly for you. We are going to go on a crop scouting adventure. So come along for the fun as we go adventure around. I probably won't go to every single field. Likely not even, no. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna go drive around for like 4 hours. So come along for the fun. But first off, I'm gonna go drop sourdough off to my dad. That's it, we're being bombed. Everyone's putting fungicide on. We did get fungicide put on, so I'll put some clips in here as well and we'll talk about it. We had fungicide applied via airplane to this field right along the barns. Oh my God. So it's technically 2 fields. There's 2 different varieties here. There is the NK1188, which was planted for the intentions of being silage corn. It's a little bit longer day. It's got some height to it, which you'll go see. I did not realize how much height it had gained until we went down in the garden today, and I was like, oh my gosh. So that's this. We have some compaction here. This is where cows hang out. It's kind of wavy with all the rain. I'm sure their water sat there a little bit too. So this shorter stuff is just starting to tassel, and I'll walk in here in a minute. And then the other field, technically on the other end of the barn, is 007 corn, so the NK007. That is that same variety if you were here last year that I got to pick out, did really well, and then I got the go ahead to keep picking them out. Dad's gonna watch this and laugh. So there's a calf crying. We'll have to check on that too. But we'll go show you what this looks like, show you the good, the bad, the ugly. All the things. No secret, we had 15 inches of rain in a couple of days, and that's a lot, right? So we have some short rows here. It's really variable because you go that way and it gets taller. It's just really short right here. Then it starts getting really good. And then you get out here further and the corn is like 4 feet above my head. Like, what's up? You can't even tell how tall it is. We're gonna lose the chopper out here, I think, this year. So she's just tasseling right here just now, and I got a short spot here. That excessive moisture is not a good thing. We're not far enough into tasseling right here that I can see how that's going. I mean, it tasseled, but it hasn't. We haven't seen pollination. We're not that far that I can look. So I'll see if it's close enough on some of the other parts of the field, but I'm gonna go figure out what calf is crying. Oh, I know what's going on. We combined pens on the outside for calves, so there's a bale feeder in there now, so the calves can eat grass hay. So all the calves can go, besides this first pen, so pens 2 through 6 can now run around the outside either way, but they have to go back out through the creek feed pens to get back in with their mom. So I'm sure there's some confused kids right now as to why they're crying. They gotta figure it out. They'll figure it out, but yeah. That's what's happening. Buddy, you're on the wrong side. Yep, 30's on the wrong side. You gotta go around through the back, kiddos. So mad. That'd be fine. That's funny. Funny. Now I know what's going on. I was like, why are we crying? But the babies are having the time of their lives. But yeah, here's us admitting that we're not perfect. This corn right here, it'll make silage. It's probably not gonna make much more than corn silage. Like grain there, you wouldn't have much of a yield, but it'll work for the calves. So she's really good. You get over there. So anyways, we're gonna go drive down here to the other side of the 1188 where it has been tasseled a little bit longer, and I'll kind of go see what she looks like. That's the bale feeder that we were fixing up, you guys saw in a previous video. So now the babies can eat some. I think we have an intermission. We do have an intermission. My little, the only little doeling that I kept this year, and that, like, Mom didn't keep any. I kept one. She got her head stuck. She's screaming bloody murder. Oh, man. Are you stuck? Oh, no. Oh, what a sad day to be a goat. Gotta turn your head. Gotta turn your head. We gotta... Can't record and do it, guys. I'll teach ya. Hi, girls. All right, that was a quick little intermission. Rescuing a little baby fainting goat. She's like, thank you, nice lady. Oh, man. One thing about all the rain, the goats, they got plenty of grass, and the garden has taken off. If you didn't know, my mom's a little crazy with the garden, and it's a little excessively large. A lot of this is pumpkins in the back here, and now weeds, but yeah. Then we got like zucchini and peas and green beans and onions and kohlrabi and radishes and sweet potatoes and pickles, tomatoes, broccoli, all the things. So back to what we were gonna do, go look at the corn. So like our sweet corn's nothing impressive, but like, you guys seeing that? There to there? This is some big corn. I don't think my hand could even like remotely get above it at all. No. I should get Nathan in here, actually. I took a picture in it today. I'll put that right on here so you can see. But she got some height to her. Like the ears on the corn plant are at my shoulder almost. It's wild. So NK1188, we're looking pretty good. Baby corn's being made. So if you didn't know, the tassels pop up and then we see the silks, and then that's when like the fertilization is happening. So there's your seeds coming out doing the fun stuff. This is sticky. It's like a really fun texture. And then hopefully all of these kernels will come through and be nice. So we have 2 ears on most of these plants if they actually fill out. So we'll find out. I'll probably come back in another video because I don't think we're going to be far enough along to actually show you. But yeah, my hand is like 3 feet below the tassel because the mosquitoes are probably gonna get me. They're out, but they're not like as bad as they were on the alfalfa video. Mosquitoes, oh, they're so bad. Oh, I don't want to live here anymore. That was terrible. But this corn, man, I think we're gonna lose the chopper in it this fall when we chop silage in September. If this is what gets chopped, it should be. But we do have the 007 right over there in case, since we work with a custom chopper, we kind of have to be flexible with his timeline. We're really gonna notice the fields this year, just in the area in general, anyone. You're gonna notice where there was good tiling and good drainage in a field. A lot of fields you'll see they're kind of wavy. You're actually gonna be able to see like the tiling in fields with that. We are pretty lucky with most of these fields here that I'm gonna show you today. In another video, I'll have to take you into the other one that we kind of looked at briefly, Dad and I, that day, that does not drain very well. It's a different soil type. Like this is just soil goes all the way down. The other field up there is dirt, and then it's that like shelf of rocks. So it doesn't drain super well. That corn is not looking super great as far as I've heard. I haven't looked at it in a minute. But when you get excessive moisture and it's not properly draining, the corn is like starving for nutrients and being drowned out, essentially, is what's happening. Just not to the point of being fully drowned out. It's just kind of like holding on a little bit to survive. So yeah, but the 1188, she's looking pretty good. I'm impressed. We're gonna run up about 1.5 miles that way, look at some beans as well as some more corn, and see what we got going on. I have my little cheat sheet to know what variety is where, because my brain's not having that completely memorized yet. The corn I got down, the beans I gotta look up, but she's looking pretty good, pretty uniform all throughout here. All right, this is where things are really gonna show in this field specifically. One of them, I guess, that we had excessive moisture, because we are missing some spots where beans got killed out because of standing water. So crappy situation, not really ideal obviously, but we'll look at what the rest of the beans look like, because yeah, 15 inches of rain, guys. It's not gonna be perfect by any means anywhere. These are a 1.9 relative maturity. It's a 19 something. I'll put it in the caption. I just read it, but now I don't know. This is where I got ran over from the sprayer, so we can talk to Connor about that. But the beans that are here actually look really good. They're flowering, so it's perfect time to be out here. We can tell that Connor was here recently spraying, because the weeds that were here are dying. So successful mission, there we go. But you can see we have these purple flowers on here. They are starting to do what they need to do to start forming pods. And they're also going to start, instead of just growing up, they'll start canopying out, and then the weed pressure will also diminish anything that comes up after he came through here, because he won't be able to spray anymore, because these rows will start filling in. Then that weed pressure is controlled via that. Actually looking really good. Like, you look this whole direction, looks great, right? Great, 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 great. That's where we always have poor-ish drainage in this field. It's just how it rolls, but they're looking full. They're looking good. I mean, there's not much more that I can show you yet, because there's not pods forming, but the fact that they are starting to see the flowers and bloom and do all the fun stuff means that we're going to hit the next stage. Got a little bit of some damage on leaves, but nothing crazy. So they're looking good. I'm excited to see how these do. I should have prefaced this video by saying that I'm not a crop expert by any means. I really should get one of our local agronomist friends to come out with me and look at things, which I might end up doing. But corn is definitely a little bit more of my love language, I guess you could say, with crops. But beans are growing on me. I mean, like, we feed corn to cattle, so there's just a lot more like automatic translation in my mind for how that works, because it talks in my brain. However, besides the little black dirt spots out here, this field's looking really good. So obviously there's gonna be some yield loss where there's the areas with no crops. Outside of that, there's a couple spots where she's a little yellow out here. The rest of it is this really nice green color that you like to see. Last year we had a little bit of iron deficiency chlorosis right at my house, where the beans actually turned yellow and they were being like starved for iron. And they were deficient, so they turned that color, and then they actually ended up like dying. It wasn't bad, it was just like a couple spots, but that was because we had no moisture, and then we had a very, very, very heavy rain. Very, very, very just excessive-ish. Typical. And then it was like too much. So, well, yeah, they're looking good. I wish I could say more about beans, honestly. Like, guys, I'm not the expert. Not at all, but this field's starting to canopy. It's looking good. Obviously the flowers are there, so we're going to start seeing pods. That's when there's more to look at, to be honest. All right, we got ourselves some more 007 sitting up here. As you can see, we got bonus ears happening, so it just depends how she actually fills out and what pollination looks like. Right here, this is compaction causing some of the corn to be really short on the end rows from like driving. We had our stockpile here prior, all those things, but look at all this. We got like multiple ears of corn trying to crush it on a plant. But once you get in past the compaction, this is probably deer or raccoons, the corn is tall. Not as tall as the other stuff, but still above my head quite a bit. She has a couple days less maturity, 11 days relative maturity later. So the 007 is 100 day, so it's 0007 means 100 day relative maturity. And then the 1188 is 111 day. So that's how that works. I was like, why didn't I record when like the corn was tasseling to like show you what it looked like? Oh, it's because the mosquitoes were like terrible. Thankfully, much as I hate the heat, it got hot enough that mosquitoes don't like that. They've kind of like taken a chill pill just a little bit, which has been fine by me. They're still out, obviously. Like, I just got bit by one, but I'm not being attacked by 100 of them at the same time. Not a mosquito girl, not a heat girl. Just, yeah. It is what it is. You just want to find hybrids that are like tolerant to whatever you feel like you're going to end up dealing with that year, and a lot of it is gambling, to be honest. Like, I wish I could say, hey, I know it's going to be a drought year, and listening to what everyone was kind of saying and what we've had the last couple of years, they talked about 2024 being a very dry year again. So guess what? Every single hybrid we planted is at least like decently drought tolerant, if not like very drought tolerant. That's why the 007 came back again. It also has that, you know, like yield potential. If we do get the rain, it could top out really well. So we try to go with something that's like not gonna take the cake guaranteed every single year, but something that is gonna be consistent in whatever, you know, the year is going to give us. Dad says, I think that he said, like, we're not going to go for the home run every single year. We're going to go for like the consistency that pays out in the end, year after year after year. So we'll see, but a lot of it is gambling, knowing your ground, and then like, who can predict the future? We don't know. And then you're sitting over here like, yeah, we can have really good yield in our corn, but corn's worth like $1 right now. It's more than $1, but it feels like it. Oh man, these beans have some yellow in them. You can see they have some more stress. Once again, not our fields, but you can see what happens when the fields have different variables going into them. We got some beans over there. Those are 14s. 1/4 technically. I can't get in there very well right now, but looking decent from the road. This is a mix, just a little bit of the 007 that was left, parts of the planter, I guess one side, and then also 9771, so a 97-day variety. Seeing a lot of double ears again. So there's certain like hybrids that'll have that trait that if they're in good conditions, it'll try to do more than one ear. It's not necessarily always like the best thing, but generally if it isn't optimal conditions, it just won't fill the other one, or you'll get just a couple kernels. So it's kind of just like a little baby bonus, but you got to have optimal conditions in order to make it happen. Obviously we're on the end, but you can see we have, this is like the main ear, and then there's this little one that's going to try to come. It just depends on what we have for weather around the time of all of the pollination, the tasseling happening, where we're trying to make the little baby corn kernels actually make something. So we walk in here a ways. This is what it looks like, the little baby ears. And then hopefully all of these will actually pollinate and turn into the real deal. There's a bird up here trying to square up with me. I don't like birds, that's fun. The other thing I've kind of been watching for is any signs of tar spots. So far, knock on wood, fingers crossed, we haven't really seen or heard of much in our area. Or I know in southeast Minnesota it's kind of making its way in. So I've kind of just been watching to see if I see any signs of it in various spots, kind of all over the plant. I mean, like, this is dirt down here. It's not the spots that we're looking for. Every time I'm like, oh, there's a spot, it's like dirt from rain, so, which is good. I'm not seeing a lot of disease pressure in our fields currently, which I really like to see. Obviously, we talked about fungicide on the home fields, but I'll keep watching. I haven't seen much. Kind of what I like to see. We try to prevent everything possible anyway. You know, planting the right varieties, planting the right disease package with them, timely spraying, preventing the problems is the name of the game. And if we've just kind of been lucky enough that tar spot hasn't made its way here, fingers crossed it stays that way. I'm not even really seeing any like corn rust either. So, I mean, we got some leaves, got some burn on them, which could be, I mean, honestly don't know, because it's not really the whole plant, it's just a leaf. Could have been something of any sort, I don't know. We got good bases. They're starting to really get themselves grounded down nice. We'll spray them so hopefully rootworm stays away and all the goods, but at some point I'm just like, yeah, it looks good. Which everything you're gonna see in this video should look pretty good, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I'm not gonna make it up to that field that I know probably does not look super great just because of the ground. And then we have another field over closer to the South Dakota border that way. That's just more than I want to drive currently tonight. So sometime I'll go over there and we'll have a powwow. We have to do hay over there, so I know we'll be over there. There's the cows, just chilling. And the weeds that need to die. Bro, what do you want? Oh, there's the mosquitoes. Yeah, anyways. Dude, I hate birds. Ugh. Yelling at me. All right. I think I'm gonna get attacked by a bird. Wouldn't that be something? I try not to use like clickbait on my videos because I like, you click on my videos, I want you to actually watch my video to want to watch my video, not watch it because you think something really cool is gonna happen. Sometimes cool things happen. I think cool things happen every day, but they're not like, wow, you know? That would have been clickbait though. If I would have gotten like attacked by a bird, I would have been terrified. Just a nicer girl living her best life. Yeah. All right, so this is a little field right next to the alfalfa. This is where I had all my nightmares of mosquitoes. It was terrible. Obviously, we got some compaction going on. Then the pests come in. Deer are eating some of it, all of that jazz. Weeds are here but dying, which is, you know. Compaction is all the issue currently here just from getting driven on. Yeah, so the 007 again. Got some good height, about the same height as the other 007. The ears are starting to look fuller, so it's pretty exciting stuff, to be honest. So you can actually see a little bit more progress on this one. Some of these up here have not, the mosquitoes are getting me, have not been successful. These will probably be aborted way up top, but this is looking pretty dang good. We don't know for sure. She might still be doing it. Obviously this one is now going to not do anything because I took it off, but you want them to be these little thingies. They kind of get to like a milky stage. They're not there yet. You can kind of pop them like they're little zits. It's kind of an exciting thing. We're not quite to like full on that stage, but it's good to see most of them actually looking the way they are. Most of the kernels on the cob. These beans are the NK19 T8E3S. Remembered it that time. As long as I said it right. These are the ones that you saw in my previous video that we were spraying for the last time before they canopied. So I was out here, but I'll take you along for the funsies. Our manure pile that stockpiles over there, and then there is another area where water sat and killed off the beans. But other than that, when I had the drone in the air, this field looked really, really, really good. She's just starting to think about canopying. Also have some flowers on this one as well. Just starting to give us nice purple flowers, but the rows look beautiful. She cleaned up really, really, really nice after we sprayed. The weed pressure obviously is dying. The extra volunteer corn turning brown, but about knee high. Got a little bit of discoloration in spots. A little bit of some bugs picking on it. The one thing with a really wet year, you're gonna have a little bit more pressure of disease just because it's just more prevalent. Some people put fungicide on beans as well. We generally do not. I don't know if it's not in the plan right now, but we'll kind of see what happens. So they're looking pretty dang beautiful. I'm excited. They're getting some height to them, so we'll see what they end up looking like when the pods come. But there's your cute little flowers. At this point, I just call beans beautiful. Still learning, but like, I'm not getting red flags anywhere, so that's what I like to see. This is the field I've probably been in the most just because it's literally right by my house. Like, it just wraps around my house. This one, I'm really excited. There's fireflies out here, but these ears, this one has 3 on it. Obviously it's on the end, but 1, 2, 3, 1 plant. That's exciting. It gets more sunlight. I'm not, wow, there's 3 on that one too. Interesting. The end ones. Yeah, sunlight, that'll do it. Oh look, we have a cat friend out here. Hello. I was like, what is that? One of my cats, it's fine. That's exciting. This one's got some gravel hills in it, so there'll definitely be some areas. If I put my drone in there, I can see them. But because we've had nice timely rains, this one might actually do pretty well this year. It's kind of a, depending what the weather does, field. We got a little bit of compaction right here, not surprised. But this 007 is the tallest of all the fields that are that variety, so we'll see. I'm excited. We'll see what happens. That's your quick adventure crop scouting. Really not a lot, just had some spots where the rain, 15 inches of rain, just kind of whomped out our seed we put in the ground and our poor crops that were there. But I'm feeling optimistic. Fingers crossed. Cross my legs, cross my arms. The wind and the hail and the severe weather. Knock on wood. We'll just say a prayer, cross our fingers, knock on wood, that the rest of the growing season goes well, to be honest. So, as always, got any questions, let me know. I have questions because I'm still learning, but that's the real with Andrea behind the scenes. So, see what I can do. If you have anything you want to see or questions that I don't know the answer to, I will find someone to come out with me and adventure around and make a video. So, as always, till next time, we'll see you then. I'll say if this little guy goes all the way with kernels, it's 16 around. 16 rows around this baby. Not bad. Not bad.